Hey, what is going on, everybody? Weather with Jonathan here is back. Now, today we are doing something a little different. So, I know how much you guys loved my last documentary about the Rolling Fork tornado back almost a year ago. 1 year ago. So, it will be the 1 year anniversary of the Rolling Fork tornado in about a month and a week or two. So I decided to do another documentary because I know how much you guys liked my last documentary. So I decided to do it again. So this documentary is going to be about the tornado outbreak of March 31st, and it also did continue till April 1st, 2023. So, um, on March 31st, a massive tornado outbreak happened in the Midwestern, Southern, and Eastern United States on the last day of March and the first day of April, and it produced blizzard conditions in the upper Midwest. Now, um, this is just basically a look at what happened, and 28 million people were placed under tornado watches, including multiple PDS tornado watches, and um, yeah, there was so much that happened. And at certain points of the outbreak, over 20 simultaneous tornado warnings were active, and there were a total of 175 tornado warnings issued on March 31st, with an additional 51 on April 1st. So, in all, 147 tornadoes touched down. 116 occurred on March 31st alone, and the outbreak ranks third worldwide for producing the most tornadoes in a 24-hour period, with 136 tornadoes occurring before 19 UTC March 31st to 19 UTC April 1st. Um, and yeah, this was a crazy outbreak, you guys. There were 147 tornadoes. The maximum rating of a tornado was EF4. The highest winds were 170 miles per hour at Kyoto, Iowa, and it was an EF4 on March 31st. The largest hail recorded was 3.5 inches, 8.9, aka 8.9 centimeters, near Beverly, Illinois, and the maximum snowfall accretion was 22 inches near Caspian, Michigan. Now, the highest winds were 100 miles per hour near Harlan, Indiana, and they were non tornadic winds. The lowest pressure was 975 millibars, um, and there were 26 fatalities, one indirect, and six non tornadic. There were 218 injuries, and the damage there costed $5.44 billion. And there were over a million power outages. So we are going to look at the map and the risks of from the SPC. So this is a map of the tornado warnings, the tornadoes, the fatal tornadoes, the tornadoes tracks, and the SPC's warning or outlook. So um, this area right here is for April 1st. Um, you can see all those tornado warnings on there. And actually, a fatal EF3 tornado actually happened in Delaware near Dover. And then a bunch of other tornadoes happened in New Jersey. Then I do believe this slight risk down here in the southeast was on April 2nd, I believe. So this was on April 2nd. I believe this may have been a part of another storm, but it might have been from the same storm. Now, as you can see, this was March 31st. All those little red boxes are the tornado warnings. You can see how many tornado warnings there were. Now, this is the map legend. This is what the tornado ratings look like on the map. This is what the outlooks look like, and this is what the tornado past tornado warnings and fatal tornadoes look like. So you can see um, there's just a line of tornado warnings, and then it just spreads out east. And we had a lot of discrete tornadic activity across central Illinois, central Indiana, and western Ohio, and then a lot of tornadoes and strong tornadoes um, in eastern Iowa and northern Illinois, also a little bit at northwestern Illinois. Now, we also did have a lot of tornadoes in eastern Arkansas, maybe just about one or two in central and northern Arkansas. Now, one of those in particular was a kind of long track EF3 and fatal EF3 tornado that went straight through the heart of Little Rock, and we will get to that tornado later. A tornado tore through northern and southern Memphis, and there were multiple long track and violent tornadoes east, north, and south of Memphis, Tennessee. Then that is pretty much it. We did have this one supercell that caused a lot of tornado warnings in southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, northern Kentucky, and southwestern Indiana, especially along the Ohio River. Now, you can see there were lots of tornadoes and tornado warnings. Um, this was a crazy event. So, this was the outlook for that day. We had two high risk areas, two separate high risk areas, um, a massive moderate risk area, an enhanced risk area, slight risk area, and a marginal risk area. Now, this weather event was absolutely crazy. Lots of tornadoes happened. A derecho almost happened in Pennsylvania, actually. It was more of a squall line, but it was kind of close to a derecho and it produced lots of tornadoes. So on the morning of March 31st, the SPC launched these two mesoscale discussions. One um, was about, well, actually, both of them were. So this is mesoscale discussion 392. This was a mesoscale discussion for the exact area where the high risk was going to be issued. And it said that an upgrade to a tornado driven high risk would be issued at 1630 UTC. And then mesoscale discussion 390. Well, this was also another area that the high risk got issued for, but um, well, let's just say that it was also not good. It also said an upgrade to a tornado driven high risk would be issued at 1630 UTC. So the weather event shortly after, maybe about an hour, those two high risks were issued. The weather event quickly started, and you can see there were absolutely no clouds whatsoever. I mean, there were clouds, but there was lots of sun out ahead of the storms, and all of these storms were mainly discrete. So they had a lot of environment to work with, and this would help mature the supercells to become tornadic later on. So as you can see, this was also taken at the same time. Storms were absolutely popping off in southern Iowa and western Missouri. So far, these wouldn't pose a threat, but um, right now, these didn't really pose a threat. There were maybe one or two tornado warnings in this entire line of storms here at this particular moment. Now, lots of storms were firing off in central Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, and northeastern Texas. Now, these storms would mature rapidly and would go on to produce violent and long track tornadoes across this entire area. So, this is what the radar was predicting, or sorry, what the weather models were predicting for this weather event. So this is what they were predicting later in the day. So this is about like maybe you want to say 1 o'clock ish in the afternoon. Now maybe like for like it would be about like maybe 2 ish in this time zone. So you can see this is what the radar or the weather models were predicting. You can see all these storms, every single one has a ton of space out ahead of them, and every single one was had a curved photograph, and they were all discrete. Every single one was discrete. Not a single one was merged together with another storm. They were all discrete, and they were capable of producing long track and violent tornadoes. So that is why the SPCA issued those two high risks. Now you can see this is when three tornadoes were going on. This one, I believe, may have been an EF3. It went on to kill, I want to say, about 3 or 4 people. This one was also an EF3, I believe. This went on that long. It was very long. These both warranted, I think, a tornado emergency at one point. And then I think this one also issued a tornado emergency. I think this was a high end EF2, maybe a low end EF3, but this went through southern Memphis. So you can see this is when three EF2 and EF3 tornadoes were going on at once. And the environment was just perfect for these tornadoes and supercells to mature. So these tornadoes became long track and violent, and they killed multiple people. I think these supercells in total killed about 15 people, I want to say. Actually, maybe about 20 people. Most of the deaths happened down here. But guess what? This was Tornado Watch 97. I do believe this was a PDS. It may not have been a PDS tornado watch though, but this is what the supercells look like as they formed into a line and moved into Mississippi and central Tennessee. Now, this went on to produce damaging winds and a few more tornadoes, but not a whole lot. Now, this is what it looked like at the same time, 11 p.m. On Friday, March 31st, 2023. This is what it looked like. So, here, I'll draw these borders a little better. But as you can see here, these borders are terrible, but at least you can see them better. So basically, these were the borders. So this is Indiana right here, this is Illinois right here, and this is Ohio right here. You can see, you can see that line of storms. It's defined, but this contains lots of supercells, especially in this area right here. And you can also see another curved supercell. And I believe this supercell at that time was producing an EF2 tornado. I think, actually, you know what? That was the same supercell, I believe, that produced an EF3 tornado. So actually, at that time, it was producing an EF2 or EF1 tornado. But that tornado caused about like 3, 4 deaths, I think. Now, this is what the Little Rock tornado looked like. So, as you can see right on the map, um, it says North Little Rock and Little Rock right here. And I was tracking this live while me and my mom were packing up because we were moving. So, I saw the supercell, and I saw this, and I was like, Mom, there is a tornado emergency, and Little Rock is about to get hammered with maybe an EF3 tornado. Now, the thing about this is, I feel like Little Rock got a little bit lucky because this supercell was pretty small compared to how big it could have been. Now, maybe it's just because it's so close to the radar site, but from what I'm seeing, was a little bit small. Now you can see this entire area is under a tornado emergency. And what I'm basically saying here about it being looking a little bit small is what I'm basically saying is if it had been a bigger supercell, I think this could have produced a way bigger tornado and stronger tornado. And I think a potential EF4 to EF5 tornado could have ended up going through Little Rock. So I feel like a Little Rock still got a little bit lucky on this. Now, yes, this was a very high end EF3 tornado, and Little Rock did not get lucky to go through this. Now, I believe this tornado went on to it started about here, I believe, then it ended, and then I believe it matured again, and then went through the radar site, and then went like that, and then I believe it died around Griffithville. I don't know how to pronounce that. I can't see very well. But that is what the Little Rock's tornado supercell looked like. And again, this was a high end EF3. It should have been rated an EF4, but they rated it an EF3. So then this was so we're gonna go back. Let's see if I can find it. So this picture. So I believe the next picture I'm gonna show you, it was either this supercell or this supercell that I'm about to show you when it had an EF2 or EF3 tornado on it. Actually, wait here. So this is what happened. So this was the tornado emergency. This was before it moved into Tennessee. This is when it was in Arkansas. I think it was a northern supercell that I just showed you. You can see the velocity, very, very strong, very strong rotation in that. Actually, it almost formed a little donut hole on this, as you can see that little hole, and yeah, it was a crazy supercell because this supercell, it went on to produce, I think, two more tornadoes, and both of them were violent, EF2 and EF3, I believe. And this supercell in total, I think, produced like 3 or 4 tornadoes. So you can see the supercell, the base of it. You can just see this. Like, look at that. And then you can see the little donut hole right in the middle, which is where the tornado was. So this was a crazy supercell. I think it died off around here where my cursor is, and then it started up again and produced an EF2 or EF3 tornado. But nonetheless, that supercell was crazy. So yeah, this was basically an overview of what happened. I hope you guys enjoyed this, but I have one more thing to show you guys. The storm reports. Look at all the red you see on here, and the blue and the green. There were 1,043 total reports. 188 of them were tornado reports. 521 of these were wind reports, and 7 of them being over 65. Sorry, I forget what that means, but they were. You got 7 high wind reports, which is basically winds being over 75 miles per hour. Then you got literally 334 hail reports, which is a lot because you do not usually get that many. And you even got some in like central Washington or central Wisconsin, which they were not supposed to be getting rain or storms, but somehow they did. And yeah, it was a crazy weather event. 29 of those hail reports were 2 inches in diameter or more. One of those was 3.5 inches in diameter, aka 3.5 inches in diameter. So yeah, there were 1,043 storm reports in total. So this was a crazy weather event, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this documentary. It was kind of fun to make. It may not have been my best because I have to make it a little bit short because I am sick with a sore throat and my voice, so it really hurts. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Um, I'll see you guys in my next video, which hopefully will be in about 2, 3 days, maybe. It depends, because I am gonna be very busy, but it depends. I will try. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. consider sharing it with family and friends. Consider subscribing to the channel. It would help me and the channel out a lot. And consider liking this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it for the last time, and I'll see you in my next video, which will hopefully be very soon. Bye.